Hey now, what is up everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka Review King MB, and here is a movie that I was aware of. I remember it, or at least I remember it coming out. I remember seeing trailers for it, and I remember thinking, you know, that might be good. I'd probably add that to the list sometime. And then you forget about it, and years go by, and just stuff happens, and so obviously it took me forcing myself to watch 100 movies I've never seen before to finally add this to it. I'm talking about The Man. The Man is a 2005 film that was directed by Les Mayfield. And the plot is we follow Samuel L. Jackson as Detective Van. He's on this case trying to get almost, not revenge. I guess a cop doesn't really or shouldn't get revenge. He's trying to catch the guy who killed his partner and all of the drug trade that this criminal is involved in. Eugene Levy plays Andy Fiedler, who is coming into town because he has this dentist speech, this pitch of a new device that he needs to give to his company. And of course, he gets accidentally wrapped up in this drug operation. People think that he's this dealer that he's not, some high-end person. So Sam Jackson has to work with this guy and use him, and so the two, it almost becomes like a buddy cop film. Now, what I thought of The Man was, I enjoyed the movie. I had fun with the movie. Overall, it's probably not great. Like, if I'm being objective, it's probably not a good movie, right? But it's Sam Jackson and it's Eugene Levy that makes this work, that helps me along and has me laughing the times that I do. First of all, Sam Jackson, it's a gimme that this guy is going to keep you entertained one way or another, even if he's the only thing in the movie that's going to get you going. Between the motherfuckers, which this is PG-13, and he somehow is able to get out like 3 or 4 motherfuckers, which I thought you're only allowed 1. But it's Sam Jackson, so of course he gets more than that. And he's an angry type cop. He uses excessive force and violence, and especially with his perp on the street that he works with for information. I could not believe that, well, not only is this guy's name, his street name, is Booty, which I was thinking, well, if you're like a gangster or a dealer or whatever he is on the street in the hood, do you want the nickname Booty? Doesn't that kind of invite the wrong image of yourself? Unless that's what he's batting for, hey, no harm, no foul. I'm not judging. But Booty is played by Anthony Mackie, so it was hilarious to see Nick Fury interrogating or abusing his power onto the Falcon, or I guess now Captain America. Clearly, this is pretty early in Anthony Mackie's career, and so I'm glad that he's now gotten to the point where he's not doing shit like this anymore. You see actors who, he was in 8 Mile before this. I know he was Clarence, and he still can't live that down. But just a role like this, look, the scenes were comical, the scenes got to where they had to get, but to see where his character ended up, this is a thankless role. This is something that, like, man, I guess it pays the bills, but I don't know. I would not want to be in a role like this, especially as a black guy, but that's just me. What do I know? I'm half black. Eugene Levy, like I said, plays Andy, who he's pretty much playing Jim's dad. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. It's just I see Eugene Levy and I see Jim's dad. From American Pie, of course. Because he plays that well, that wholesome father, family man who just wants to do well. Like, that's, you buy that, he pulls that off well. And seeing him in these awkward situations, or seeing him have to deal with guns and drugs and not wanting to be a part of it, cops thinking that he's some criminal underboss or something, it's quite amusing. It's pretty far-fetched in some of these situations. I'm like, come on, how do you guys not know? Or how are you guys not doing your due diligence enough to not put him in jail? the way that some of these scenes play out. But it's a movie. You have to go along with it. You have to just kind of accept it. It's a comedy. It did make me laugh. There's one scene where Sam Jackson pretty much says to Eugene Levy, "You're my bitch. You're going to do everything that I say and want because you have no other options." There's a scene later where Eugene Levy has to pretend to be this criminal guy, and he gets to almost role play, and he calls Sam Jackson his bitch. And hearing Sam Jackson say, "I'm your bitch," so reluctantly, so against his will, not only was that hilarious, but I'm convinced that Sam Jackson really didn't want to do it. And all of that was a genuine reaction to him being forced to play that scene out the way that it does. And so, once again, it's the bits between Sam Jackson and Eugene Levy that keep me laughing, that keep me going along, that kept me interested all the way through. Everybody else, like one of the villains, Joey Kane, is played by Luke Goss. I recognize this guy from Blade 2 as the villain. You know, the vampires where their chins opened up and it was gross. That's where I know this guy from. He was fine, I guess. But other than that, pretty straightforward as far as the plot goes, as far as action or comedy goes. Again, it's the improv. Sam Jackson, Eugene Levy, you could tell that they were told to do what you want and create some material, because they do just that. Anyways, guys, yeah, I enjoyed The Man. I did. It's not great, it's not amazing, but it's watchable and it's funny. You're gonna get some laughs out of it. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below if you too have seen The Man. What do you think of it? Do you like it as well? Did you not care for it? Is this a movie that you weren't even aware of? I'm sure that's possible. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!